Thank you so much. Good afternoon to one more here. And it's a pleasure to welcome you all to this session on waste to wealth, circular pathways for a sustainable future. And this is following a brilliant session that we had before this. So, as stated, I am Udayveer Sarkar, and I hope to be as good a moderator for this session in comparison to the brilliant panel that we have with us here. So, to begin with, across the Northeast and broadly the Eastern Himalayas, we are witnessing a growing waste challenge. From rising plastic leakage and unmanaged municipal waste to the impacts on soil health, water systems, and biodiversity. And these pressures are intensifying with rapid urbanization, changing consumption patterns in the region, and limited infrastructure, making waste management one of the region's most urgent environmental concerns. But alongside these challenges lies a very powerful opportunity. So, waste has become a resource that can be a driver for new industries, livelihoods, climate mitigation, and ecological restoration. So the circular economy solutions, waste valorization and value addition pathways, and community-led innovation can help us transform linear waste systems into a regenerative ones that strengthen both people and landscapes. So today's panel brings together very essential perspectives for this topic. Scientific research and technology, regulatory governance and policy, and on-ground entrepreneurship and grassroots success. So now, without wasting any further time, I'm going to get on with this session. And I've been given a slight prior warning from the organizers that we just request all the participants to stick to the time so that every participant, so every speaker here gets due respect to what they're going to be speaking about. So. I would like to start with Dr. Goswami. Dr. Goswami, sir, to set the stage, could you share with us which technologies you believe hold the strongest potential for waste value addition or waste valorization in the Northeast?
Yeah. Thank you. Moderators and co-panelists. So I stick to the basic things only because of the time constraints. So as we know that waste is a very challenging thing for all of us. So everyone is witnessing the catastrophic effect of waste. Now, if you talk about this technology point of view, so what kind of technologies will be suitable for the Northeastern region? So Northeastern region has a specific characteristic as compared to the other parts of the country. So our technology should be that is location specific and considering that the waste organic content of this region. So if we talk about the technology, first technology is the advanced that means anaerobic digestion. So that is the first thing so which can produce a biogas or CBGs. So lots of organizations have been working in that. And second thing is that the pyrolysis. So pyrolysis again reducing the syngas as well as your biosar. So biosar that is very very important from agriculture point of view. Also it helps in your sequestering carbon. So that is very important because whenever you talk any technology, adaptability comes first. When the people adopt it, when it is incentivized, when it is integrated into the policy. So if this can be linked to the carbon credit program, then people will get incentive, then the adaptability will be much more easier. And next is the composting, the biocomposting or advanced composting. So again, I'll just so I'll just integrate all these three questions. So probably three questions will be asked. So I'll just go. Yeah. So in that case also, so how to integrate the policy kind of thing? So there the government procurement system should include those kind of things. So green budgeting is there, so government procurement system is there. So that should be included in the policy that they should procure it. Otherwise, the entrepreneurs will not be interested to take up that kind of things. And also, this loaning facility should be very easy and a single loan approach should be adopted. So these are the kind of technologies. But question is that we should adopt the decentralized approach because that we have seen the centralized system. Decentralized approach will provide the some sort of solution and it will reduce the burden on the landfill. So I am just citing one example. So we are working the governor house for solid and liquid waste management. So that is the decentralized system. Continuously for 5 years we have been working. Nothing is going outside from the governor house. So we are taking the entire solid waste and converting it into organic compost and then non-recyclable material is handed over to authorized vendor. The second important point is that whatever the grey water and black water is coming, so that is being treated and it pass through the reed-based system so that environment gets doesn't pollute. That means it is not polluting the environment. So those kind of things are there. So we have another technology. So that is called team technology. So it is a membrane-based technology for wastewater treatment. And another technology is there, so which we implemented in various parts of the countries. That is the gasification system. So gasification system, so that works for this particular northeastern region because we have lots of biomass. So that biomass can be converted into the gas and that can be used for lighting and other applications. Because whenever we talk about the entrepreneurs development in the remote areas, so they basically like the power system. So that power system can be supplied through the gasification system. Even for cooking also that can be used. So these are the things. So maybe in a later case, so I will throw some light on that or highlight few of the things. Thank you.
Mr. Rupankar here. So, Mr. Rupankar, sir, like, what now taking this context of what sir said, what inspired you to start Waste to Paper Circular Enterprise in Assam, and if you could share some key hurdles that you may have encountered while setting this up.
So the story which actually inspired me to start was not associated with waste, rather it was associated with the snake. So I was very much interested on researching on snakes and the venom and how it works, different species of snakes found. So it was just one fine evening I rescued a python while releasing it back. I wanted to take a few photographs of the python. So what happened? I was releasing the python in Deepor Bin. And that particular moment, I saw a green flowing mat that covered the python, and the python, I couldn't hold the python back because it was about to bite me. So I missed the photograph and I was very much angry that day, so, I came back home, I called my mentor, Dr. Jayendra sir. He's a renowned herpetologist. I called him and I say that I am frustrated. I missed a photograph of the python moving on the water. And he said that what happened? I say that there was a green flowing mat which created the problem. And then that was the moment he told me that you have chose a very good enemy, Rupankar. And I still remember that these words, you chose a very good enemy. I say that why? Because you see, when we started studying, we knew that in Assamese we call water hyacinth as meteka, okay? And nobody, not even textbooks ever taught us that meteka in English is water hyacinth. When we were learning, I still remember in class 10th in my science book, there was water hyacinth, an invasive aquatic plant species, which was brought by lady like Warren Hastings. To give the flower was very beautiful. Then again, the romantic story, which turned out to be a very big problem. Like Warren Hastings, the first Governor General of India, Lord Warren Hastings, to impress his wife, brought this water hyacinth because she loved purple flowers. And see, such a romantic story and now such a very big problem. 1947, we became independent, but our wetlands are still not independent from the colonial rule of the British, right? So water hyacinth was there. That's how slowly and gradually it started spreading from, and then the people started gifting and whatever, it became a regular thing when whatever we see people from outside India, they do, it becomes a trend in India. right? So that's how people started gifting water hyacinth, because Lord Warren Hastings gifted to his wife. So men started collecting and gifting it. Then it started spreading throughout India. That's why from Bengal it started spreading, and that's why it's known as Terror of Bengal. Okay, that was the story of what is my enemy. And now I talk about my enemy, and now how am I killing my enemy? That also, and converting that particular enemy into my business and my profit. That was the first thing I learned, that water hyacinth is a problem. And then after going through a lot of study, brainstorming sessions, me and my co-founder, his name is Aniket, me, Aniket, Dr. Jayanita, and his wife Madhurima Das, we four of us, we used to, often there were days we have spent discussing how water hyacinth can be covered. And there was a very, like, water hyacinth craft is very popular out here in Assam, right? He told me, I still remember, Rupankar, can you make something else? He just told me that thing. Like every time we sit on the discussion table and he says that, Rupankar, can you make something from water hyacinth other than bags? After studying, like the first thing that comes in mind is what else can be made. And then we start studying all the chemical components and what water hyacinth is made of. And after all this, I got to know that there is a word known as cellulose, hemicellulose, which led me to a word called pulp. And after that, paper. So I thought 2000 years ago, if without any machinery, China was able to make paper, why can't I do the same? And then after studying deep, I understood, all the corporate offices, they generate, if I consider one corporate office, 50 to 70% of the corporate office that generates waste is paper. Like out of the 100% waste of a corporate office, 50 to 70% is paper waste. Okay, and out here in India, we heard about paper recycling. Only 30% of the paper gets recycled, and 23 to 26% of the landfill. We were talking about landfills, right? In the landfill, 23 to 26% is paper waste. In solid, like municipal solid waste, 23 to 26% is paper waste. And how we can recycle, these were the things going on. So I thought that then again, cutting trees, climate imbalance in the ecosystem, and not only that, reason of choosing water hyacinth. I'm sorry, I'll just clear up the entire thing if I'm taking a little bit of time. The reason of choosing water hyacinth was, if we take water hyacinth and convert it into paper, not only we are saving trees because we're not cutting down trees and making paper, we are also contributing to the wetland ecosystem. Because we talk about deforestation, but wetlands are vanishing 3 times faster than forests. No one is talking about it. We talk about fresh water, salt water, we don't have underground. But so, out of all the waste, I am a very biased person. Whatever I know that much. My knowledge is limited. I don't know much about waste. I know only one single thing, that is paper, and that is my enemy. Paper, like how to recycle and get into circular economy. And my enemy is water hyacinth. That is the only 2 things I know and I can talk about. And a little bit of business. How, like, for example, see, my part was to do, me and my company, what we did, we chose water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is an invasive aquatic plant species, but there are more than 45 to 50 invasive plant species present in Assam. If we can make paper from paper, last year there was some 11,000 crore rupees paper imported from outside. Even we ourselves, we are paper manufacturers, India, right? Still we are importing paper. So there is a big demand of paper. Go digital, from good morning to good night, we need paper. Morning we wake up, we go to the bathroom, we need paper, right? Our cereal boxes, achar ka dabba, every single thing has paper or paper packaging or labeling. So paper is important part. We are carrying our purse, open your purse, you get cash, that is also made out of paper. So paper is important. So we can focus on paper, definitely on recycling. And if our company is using water hyacinth, we can shift to other invasive plant species and start making paper without damaging the forest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I mean, this is like absolutely like a knight slaying the dragon kind of a tale. And so, moving on, sir, to Dr. Kashyap, sir. Sir, you're going to be bringing in a very brilliant aspect of innovation to this, to this discussion. So, could you talk to us about your waste assimilation pattern, and how has that had an impact so far?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I would like to say that the whole world is now concerned on 2 things. One is waste management and another one is organic farming. For your kind information, I'm proud to be share with you that the only one innovation is got patent in the world, and that is from Northeast, and that is mine, that is waste assimilator, which has developed a much needed convergence between the waste management and organic farming. To understand about the fact, I would like to show video film so that you can understand what about it. And I got the best award in national level award, Millennium Managed Innovation Award 2017 from the 10th Science and Technology.
Solid waste resource management and environmental sanitation. Dr. Amarjyoti Kashyap has invented a waste assimilator to manage all the household generated biodegradable solid waste within the residential campus.
Technology is so simple that we can simply the practice of use and throw, we can adopt this in this process. Simply biodegradable solid waste we can deposit inside the waste assimilator, and initially the microbial aerobic digestion will take place, and after that we will insert the earthworm in there, and ultimately finally earthworm assimilation will also take place. So in this process, more than 80% solid waste problem can be solved in our domestic and household level and community level both.
Through the project activities, biodegradable solid waste will be utilized for producing organic manure and biopest repellent by the use of waste assimilator, which will also initiate organic kitchen gardening and domestic organic tea gardening.
Now I am encouraging households as a whole community also to utilize their biodegradable solid waste and to collect the micronutrients and manures from the outlet of the waste assimilator, and also finally vermicompost. And by utilizing that, we can practice both organic farming and organic green tea.
The component of the project is unique and developed in professional way so that people will participate on solid waste resource management due to their own benefit.
Next, please. Next, this slide is, though it is in Assamese, but it is reflected how I am practicing. My dear friends, though I am residing in Guwahati city, I am consuming all fish, all organic vegetables from my the waste to wealth management concept.
খিলখিলকৈ হাঁহিৰে ভেদ ফুলে মেলিছে বাঁহী। মাগুৰ মাছ, সোণোৱালী কমন কাৰ্ভ আদি মাছে তাৰ মাজে মাজে নিজৰ উপস্থিতি জাহিৰ কৰি পানীত খেলা কৰিছে আপোন মনে। এয়া পিছে ক'ত জানেনে? মহানগৰীৰ এগৰাকী ব্যক্তিৰ ছাদত আছে এই পুখুৰীটো। তিনিমহলীয়া এটা বিল্ডিঙৰ ওপৰত আটম টোকাৰিকৈ ডক্টৰ অমৰজ্যোতি কাশ্যপে নিৰ্মাণ কৰা এইটো জৈৱিক পুখুৰী। জৈৱিক পুখুৰীত এয়া এফালে ভেদ, আনফালে
This is already common. At my rooftop, third floor, fourth floor. This is at fourth floor.
পৰিৱেশটোৱেই কিবা সুকীয়া।
আৱৰ্জনাক তেওঁ সম্পদলৈ ৰূপান্তৰ কৰিছে। তেওঁ পৰিৱেশ বিজ্ঞানী ডক্টৰ অমৰজ্যোতি কাশ্যপ।
ডক্টৰ অমৰজ্যোতি কাশ্যপে জাবৰক সম্পদলৈ ৰূপান্তৰ কৰাৰ এক বিপ্লৱ চলাই আহিছে এই ঘৰখনৰ পৰাই। হাতীগাঁৱৰ এনভাইৰনৰ পৰাই চলাইছে নীৰৱ বিপ্লৱ।
These are all waste assimilators.
ৱেষ্ট এছিমিলেটৰত ঘৰতেই উৎপাদন কৰিছে জাবৰৰ পৰা সাৰ।
জাবৰৰ পৰা সাৰ বনোৱাৰ লগতে কীট প্ৰতিৰোধক। আজিকালি বহুতে ধৰক সাৰ বনায় বা তেনেকে পচন সাৰ প্ৰস্তুত কৰা টেকনলজি বহুতে এইটো কৰে, এইটো কমন। কিন্তু মোৰ টেকনলজিটো কি হয়, আজি জাবৰ পেলালে 2-3 দিন পিছৰ পৰা এটা পানী ওলায়, আৰু সেই পানীটো আমি অৰ্গেনিক মেনুৰ কাম পেষ্ট ৰিপেলেণ্ট হিচাপত ইউজ কৰিব পাৰোঁ, আৰু ফাইনেলি ভাৰ্মিকম্পষ্ট পাওঁ।
শেহতীয়াকৈ জাবৰৰ পৰা এই পদ্ধতিৰে সাৰ উৎপাদন কৰা ডক্টৰ অমৰজ্যোতি কাশ্যপৰ এই ৱেষ্ট এছিমিলেটৰে ইতিমধ্যে লাভ কৰিছে পেটেণ্ট। এই ৱেষ্ট এছিমিলেটৰৰ পৰা কীটনাশক দ্ৰব্য, সাৰ সকলো উৎপাদন কৰে ডক্টৰ কাশ্যপে। বহু ঠাইত চলি আছে কাশ্যপৰ এই ৱেষ্ট এছিমিলেটৰ। এই জৈৱিক পুখুৰীটো পুষ্টিৰ বাবে ৱেষ্ট এছিমিলেটৰৰ দ্বাৰা প্ৰস্তুত হোৱা জৈৱিক সাৰ নিয়ে ডক্টৰ অমৰজ্যোতি কাশ্যপে।
পৃথিৱীত যিসকল মানুহে অৰ্গেনিক ফাৰ্মিঙৰ কাম কৰে তেওঁলোকে ৱেষ্ট মেনেজমেণ্টৰ ওপৰত কৰা নাই, আৰু যোনে ৱেষ্ট মেনেজমেণ্টৰ ওপৰত কাম কৰি আছে তেওঁলোকে অৰ্গেনিক ফাৰ্মিঙৰ ওপৰত কাম কৰা নাই। কিন্তু মোৰ ইনোভেশ্যনটো এটা সংযোগ স্থাপন কৰিছে যে ৱেষ্ট মেনেজমেণ্টো কৰিম লগতে জৈৱিক খেতিও কৰিম।
এই পুখুৰীটো আপুনি
এইটো জৈৱিক ইয়াতে মানে ধৰক দেখিব মাগুৰ মাছ, কাঠ মাছ এইবিলাক আছে, গতিকে তাতে তেওঁলোকে খাবৰ কাৰণে যিটো মানে নিউট্ৰিয়েণ্টছ লাগে এইটো মোৰ পেলনীয়া জাতৰ পৰা ওলোৱা কেঁচু সাৰ দিওঁ, আৰু যিটো কেঁচু পানী তাৰমানে যিটো তাৰ লিকুইড নিউট্ৰিয়েণ্টছ সেইটোও দিয়ে।
গুৱাহাটীৰ বিস্তীৰ্ণ অঞ্চল দেখা পোৱা অমৰজ্যোতি কাশ্যপৰ এই চাদখনত আছে হাঁহৰ লগতে জুতিৰে ৰান্ধি খাব পৰা কোমোৰা, লাই, পালেং আদি শাক, ভেন্দি, নেমু, কমলা, বগৰী আদি। বজাৰৰ পৰা পাচলি কিনি খোৱা প্ৰায় বাদ দিছে অমৰজ্যোতি কাশ্যপে। স্বাস্থ্যসন্মত জৈৱিক সাৰ দি জৈৱিকভাৱে কৰা এই কৃষিৰ পাচলি খাই ঘৰত। অমৰজ্যোতি কাশ্যপৰ বিশ্বাস সকলোৱে প্লাষ্টিকৰ বাবে বাকীবোৰ জাবৰক ৰূপান্তৰ কৰিব পাৰে সম্পদলৈ। শেহতীয়াকৈ চন্দ্ৰপুৰত এখন জৈৱিক আদৰ্শ গাঁও গঢ়াত ব্যস্ত এইগৰাকী অমৰজ্যোতি কাশ্যপ।
It's a rooftop garden, rooftop organic garden.
ভিডিঅ' জাৰ্নেলিষ্ট দিব্যজ্যোতি বলিয়াৰ সৈতে ৰাজু বৰুৱা, ND24।
I just want to pitch one question to all three of you all, and y'all can please feel free to answer it however you're comfortable. I think it comes in as a little overarching question. So, as for three of y'all, what opportunities do you all see in scaling waste to wealth in the Northeast broadly, if y'all are going to take? You could just give us a comment. I think I'll start with Dr. Goswami first.
Yeah. For scaling up the technologies, so basically we need to map the resources availability. So mapping of the resource availability is important, and then an identification of the local competency development. So that is very, very important. So if we don't develop the local competency, so then whenever you go for setting up any small decentralized unit, so operation becomes very, very difficult. So those are the very much important things. So then only this can be scaled up. So there is a possibility for scaling up because you have huge resources. So apart from that also I would like to just mention three things. The first thing is that as I mentioned about the decentralization of the whole process. So there are the ULBs. We have lots of ULBs, urban local bodies. They need to be trained properly. And at UAB level, the mineral recovery facility should be there. Because we have seen the central lab facility, so how it is operating and what is the condition. So our objective is to reduce the waste at least certain percent so that extreme pressure doesn't fall on the landfill. First thing. Second thing is that we have lots of informal waste pickers. So how do we bring them into the mainstream? So that is the second thing. And the third important thing is that the waste management should be incorporated in the green skill development program. Thank you so much.
No, sir, it's the same question, sir. If I repeat the question, what do you feel are the opportunities for scaling waste to wealth in the Northeast, as per your opinion?
So in this regards, I have written a book. Actually, whatever solid waste management is going in India, even in abroad, is going in a superficial way. First, we need to understand about the waste, then only we can pass. For your kind information, as everybody is speaking regarding the segregation of waste into dry and waste, it is totally a wrong concept because scientifically we cannot segregate waste into dry and waste. The dry waste become the waste and wet waste become waste. Suppose plastic after along with the water, fruit juice and milk, butter, etc. It become becoming into a wet waste. And the same time, the leaf litter with the dry condition, it is becoming a dry waste, dry goods. These are all dry waste may be considered. But scientifically, we should segregate the waste as per the management approach. So in this regards, and also the food chain is deteriorating day by day. Everybody is speaking regarding the biodiversity conservation, regarding the ecosystem destruction. Yes, we understand that. But before that, we need to understand how food chain is deteriorating day by day due to the solid waste itself. So I would like to show 2 slides. You please show the 2 slides.
Sir, I think there's a little technical issue.
Then I would like to convey my reference. Then I have concentrated on how food chain is deteriorating day by day due to the solid waste. As we know that how fish is consumed the microplastic or nanoplastic, and after the consumption of the plastic, how fish died, and that fish we may also consume, and how cow and birds are dying day by day. But at the same time, how the entire ecosystem is going to be destroyed due to the solid waste, and the entire food chain is disturbed day by day. And another thing is that the solid waste which we are now managing is going in the superficial. For your kind information, I wrote a book on understanding of solid waste management to save the food chain. It is available freely in our website. You may write on our website. It is Environ Assam. If you search in the Environ Assam, then you will find our books, the understanding of solid waste management to save the food chain, where I have categorized how the solid waste should be segregated. Before segregation, we have to have the proper management approach, and accordingly we have to categorize solid waste into 4 categories as I have categorized. First one is compostable waste, not biodegradable. It is a compostable waste. Second one is recyclable waste. Only the recyclable, which consists of all type of recyclables, including plastic, metal, and electronic waste even. And then the mixed waste, which is the most challenging waste today. Suppose in the plastic, paper, and aluminum foil, one is mixed with the food waste, then it is becoming a mixed waste. And my dear friends, we are generating more than 50% or maybe sometimes more mixed waste generated in every household, in every festivals, every marriage festivals and others, etc. And the 4th one is the sanitary waste, as I have categorized. So first we have to understand about the solid waste, then only we will be able to manage. So I request all of you to give emphasis about our understanding of the waste, and you may view my book. Thank you very much.
When we talk about scaling up, so I'll talk in the context of business. Like if we scale up anything, we need to scale up, we need money, right? So first of all, there are multiple CSR programs nowadays available. There are many competitions that are like, me and my co-founders, we were broke when we started the company. We were literally broke, like having 15-16 rupees in our pocket, planning to make a $1 billion company was very difficult for us. We are still planning and still broke, even after making such a big, empire that we have just recently opened a factory over there in Balipara, and still, so money has always been a problem. Right. So first of all, there are multiple organizations nowadays. So just giving an example, multiple platforms, like one is Shark Tank, if you want to dilute your equity and get some money, and there are multiple organizations who are also providing you fund for your business or your conservation context. So first it comes fund. Second, when we are trying to make any sort of a solution of we are planning for waste management. If you're planning for waste management with a solution that is coming out, say for example, for our one, we saw water icing and then we made paper. Right? Paper was in demand. So your solution needs to be important for the people. You just come out with an idea and you think it is important, that will be difficult then. For maybe if you think that you are making something else out of it, you're making, I don't know, any thing that we are not utilizing much. Say for example, what to say, I'm not getting any, you're making an LED TV from water icing. Which is, water icing is not that strong enough, right? It cannot be replaceable. You're just making an LED TV cover. The TV itself comes on a plastic case. And then also you are making, beautify, but is it utilizable? Is it a utility product? No, it's a decor item. So, plan, this is what, if you are converting anything, if you're trying to make anything out of it, it should be in a context where it will be a utility product. And only then, when we do any sort of a management and come out with a product or a prototype, then that will be utilized. So With the circular economy we are talking about, there will be waste converted into a product, people buy it, and then again goes into waste, and then again this cycle runs. And among all this cycle, in between comes the powerful stuff that is money. So that was also my sense. If you want to scale up, you need money, and then it has to be something which is of a utility sort of a thing. That your solution needs to be utility for the mass or the class or the people, whatever. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Do we have some time for audience questions? I think maybe we have a few minutes for audience questions. Anybody?
It's okay, I can just. My question is for Mr. Bankar. When you are talking about scaling up your this whole innovation kind of thing, which is for the water gases, okay, so do you think that in a way when you start to scale up, that whatever happened in the colonial times, they started scaling up and removing the forest. They started cutting down the forest to plant timber species like teak and sal and sagon. So, do you think that if you try to scale up this production of this water hyacinth paper, will people start this plantation of this water hyacinth in the wetlands? Can that be a threat to the wetlands as well?
Yeah. So if you know about water hyacinth, as we have seen right from our childhood, like any little small wetland or beel that we call in Assamese, right? Like the god beel, any beel or khal, any wetland, small wetland, you see there will be very few water hyacinth initially, one or two. Okay, and then if you go to the Bharalu river, you will see, okay, there'll be one or two water hyacinth in one patch, and then suddenly within next 2 weeks you see that it gets covered. So it's say there's a theoretical way to explain how fast water hyacinth can grow, is that like if water hyacinth could grow on land or even on salt water, then it would cover the entire planet within 2 years. So it's that fast it grows, right? Now we all know that cars and all, whatever we drive, motorcycles, it creates pollution, right? Even in Delhi, the same problem is going on throughout. But have we stopped using cars or motorcycles? That is our convenience, right? So in the same way, water hyacinth is a problem for the wetland species as well. But it is present out here for the last 200 years. So now you cannot even remove you cannot eradicate the entire water hyacinth. I'll tell you a small example of two different bird species. One is pheasant-tailed jacana and second is bronze-winged jacana. Pheasant-tailed jacana is facing breeding failure because of water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is on top level. Then again, bronze-winged jacana needs water hyacinth for laying its eggs and protecting its hatchlings. So you understand, now even if your question is 100% right, but then again 100% water hyacinth eradication is also not taking place. And it is impossible. Crores of rupees is spent in Alandi Nadi in Maharashtra to extract water hyacinth every year. And they are taking out water hyacinth and that like 500 or like, I don't know, it's a long stretch, they say, 100, 200 kilometer long stretch. They couldn't clean up till now. And it's going on for the past 5, 6 or 7 years. So water hyacinth, if it ever happens that there is a shortage of water hyacinth, I'll leave my business. And I'll be the happiest person to do. Like when we started business, people asked me that what is your goal? My goal was people will be standing in front of wetlands holding play cards and there will be written save water hyacinth. That was my target. Eradicate water hyacinth in that way, slowly, gradually. I was able to answer that, right? Then again, the problem, I think, plastic, as sir said, absolutely, both of them are 100% correct. And plastic is irreplaceable, which I think even. Is baat pe vivad ho jayega agar main bota to. I am in love with plastic because you see such a beautiful material which is waterproof, good strength and everything. Fine. But I think that plastic, the waste management part, there is a problem. Whenever we go to any waterfall, wherever, you see there will be written that don't throw plastic, 5,000 rupees fine. Where is the person who is taking the 5,000 rupees from people? So I think, like, I'm not wearing helmet and paying 2,000 rupees. I'm throwing even for a single, I'm chewing like gum. If I throw the packet, there should be a person waiting. And it's a good way of getting, I think like state will get a very good revenue. If we can at least do that. In Korea, they are doing. If they even, like one of our Shantanu Kundu, Dr. Shantanu Kundu is one of my like senior working on the field of herpetofauna. He's in Korea now, and he says that every single morning I come down and there are 2 to 3 like from his building, and he says that there are 2 to 3 there's dustbins. Yeah, individually he will, and every single thing is getting recorded. They have a camera or something like that, and while collecting the material, if the waste collector, they have checked that there is in wet waste you are putting dry waste, the person will be called and fined them. So it seems impossible, but if it is possible in Korea, why can't we do? Such a big population, we have people who can 5,000 rupees if per person is paying for they will litter. 5 years, for 5 years, I think this law comes to India, 5,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, whatever, take money, take 10,000. I am ready to pay 10,000 rupees if I am throwing plastic on the road. So that's how, like, for the fear of money, people now even like I'll tell you in a different context. My girlfriend never used to wear helmet in motorcycle. She used to always fight with me that mera baal kharab ho jata hai. And now she's wearing helmet. She's the first person who will sit on the motorcycle and then say, "Give my helmet." Why? Because one single day, police caught me and her. I said that isse fine ho. And I literally asked the policeman to take fine for her, and she was so embarrassed. I did that once, and now she's wearing helmet every single day. She's riding my motorcycle. So I think the same thing has to be with like plastic as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much, audience, for these questions. So thank you, everyone. And this session has been really, really insightful. And I mean, what emerges from this today is like, you can understand a very bright future for a circular path for the region. And to touch upon some of the points that our speakers have spoken about, like how it's very important that tech and policy has to be very region specific, and the focus on being on a decentralized approach. And one really, really great approach to tackling this is like, picking your enemy, basically, identifying and picking your enemy. And that I think can apply to so many aspects of sustainable, going towards a sustainable model for any form of activity. And how very important that financing these mechanisms is essential. And finally, like from the last discussion that we had with the audience is that, plastic cannot be considered as an enemy, but definitely if there is regulation, it can be used as a valuable resource. So with that, I would like to conclude this session, and thank you all for participating. Thank you.